Welcome to the Handover video of your Globecar Summit Prime 540. We'll start with the outside of the van, then we'll work our way around, and then we'll go back inside. So, first thing we normally do is just show where the fuel goes, so just behind the passenger door, so the cab door. So normal ignition key will open the diesel fuel cap, so the diesel will go in there. One below is for AdBlue. AdBlue goes in there. So if you don't use it already, it's available from most garages, supermarkets, that kind of thing. If the vehicle's running low in AdBlue, it will tell you on the dashboard. It will flag up the warning. It usually says 1,000 miles or maybe just under. Don't get to zero, because if you get to zero, it won't let you drive the van. So just make sure you top it up when you get that warning in the dashboard. Close that across. When the van's locked, that's locked. Open passenger door. First thing I'm going to show you in here is this is your main switch for the power. So it's at the side of the passenger seat down low. So it's on just now, so it's like your master switch. Off switch, everything off. But you can also switch it all the way down to out and take that out. So it's like a key that nobody can switch on the main power for the van inside it. Normally under here there would be a toolkit, but there's some switch gear, etc. fitted in there. So the toolkit is in the back, which I'll show you further on in the video. To open the bonnet, it's at this side, so open the passenger door in the cab, that opens the bonnet. Bonnet release is just right in the middle. You'll see it better once I release it. So it's just there, so just that catch there will do it. Main things to show you under here is over at the driver's side, this is your screen wash, so it's right tucked in there. This section unclips to give you better access to it, but to be honest with you, you're better getting a flexible funnel. It's much easier than fill the screen wash that way. The rest of the things we've got around here is your coolant, so that's your coolant there. So your hydraulics is there. If it does need any oil, the oil would go into here, into dipstick for the oil to know what's in it is there. If you are unlucky enough that you need to jumpstart this vehicle or help somebody else out, right over here, down on this side, at the passenger side, there's a little flap in there. Put in the key, pop it open, and if you open that up, that would be a positive connection. So you put on the red or the positive on there. Over here, there's a little symbol, and it says that's a negative. So a negative would go in there, positive would go on here, and they could jumpstart this vehicle, or if helping somebody else out, that's the connections you would use to jumpstart their vehicle. Nothing really to show you on the driver's side of the van at all. I'll show you some bits as we go further around the tour. And also nothing really to show you on the rear. Let's go round to the passenger side. So the rear passenger side, this is where your water goes. Again, I'll show you inside, and we'll show you that side of it. So key goes in to undo it. The key you're looking for would be that one. And does anti-clockwise and pops open. Midway along the passenger side of the van, this is your wastewater. So I'll put the red handle on it just now. So it's got a little indication of what's what. So closed is where it is at the moment. Just as a little turn, so it goes right round. That would be open. Might be a little bit of water coming out, but there's very little in it just now, just for me testing systems. To close it, back in the closed position, I'll put this handle in the cab at the front between the two seats. So red handle for the wastewater, and we put it right up front in the middle of the cab. So I know it's there and it's an obvious place for handover. If you are moving it, just make sure you put it somewhere safe and you know where it is. Above the wastewater valve or outlet, you'll find the cassette toilet. The hatch is there, it locks with a key. To take out the cassette, lift that green lever there, and it should slide out fairly easily. If there's any resistance on it, check inside that the blade is not still closed in the toilet. Once you've taken the toilet cassette out, all you would do is undo the cap, lift it up, press that green button there, hold it over the chemical disposal point, press that button, that will let air in behind it and let out anything that's in there. Give it a little rinse out, put toilet chemicals in there, and don't forget to put the cap back on. When putting the cassette back into the van, When you slide it in, it should locate with a fairly solid click. That's it locked in place. Above the toilet cassette hatch is this is the Truma system, so this is your flue or exhaust for the boiler. It can get quite warm, especially if it's running for a while, so just don't put anything hanging over it, even have anything too close to it. It can cause some back pressure and cause an error code on the control panel for the boiler. Midsection of the van in the passenger side, this is your electric hookup. This is where your cable goes. We always say to people, plug the van in first, then plug the van in, the cable into the post and switch it on. Don't want to be walking about with a live cable in your hand, wet grass. Okay, time to step inside the van. I'll open the door first of all. It's got electric step. The door opens just to there because it's got a window on it. The open the electric step is just press it there. So that closes it, that opens it. You'll hear it coming out. Top button, we'll put it back in. For the lighting in the van, the switches above the driver's seat, they are active, so the panel doesn't need to be on to switch these on, so they'll act straight off there. The ones here are attached in the middle, so they'll go on and that will go on. But the ones up here, the switches at the other side and the passenger side above the seat, they won't work until the main power is on. So over to the main panel, that's your switch there for your main power. And then to switch lights on, press that, it will go green. That will then switch on all the rest of the lights. Touch lights. One touch light makes it dim, so for night time you're sleeping in this area, one touch will be dim at night, so that kind of night light. The two touch will bring on main spots. Over the hob in the sink, we have a downlighter. It's on a little micro switch, so just up there. To the sleeping quarters, we've got lights, so they just control the bits up at the top, so the overhead lighting. And again, you got the same kind of spots, so again, night light or reading light, whichever you prefer at the time. This swivel as well, so again, same thing, night light and reading light. Let's do main control panel. So main control panel is located above the sliding door. So to switch the power on for the panel is that one there, so it will light up in blue. This will light up in green. You can adjust the brightness of the panel with that one. So every time you press that, it will change the brightness of it. So you can make it brighter if you want to. So at night time, you might want to dim it down a bit. So that's your main power there. Your lights is the one at the top. That will turn green when you press it. This one is your pump. So for your water, when you want to run the taps, if you press that and it goes green, that will run your taps when you turn the tap on. This will switch your fridge on and off. You'll hear it beep and the panel for the fridge will illuminate and come on. Your water, that's your fresh water, and it'll indicate there, so you see a little bit in the top that shows fresh water, it says 70%. You got a little diagram on there what does what. For battery, you've got battery in there, but you can toggle between the two. So fresh water, press it again as wastewater. It's only got a bit at the bottom, so it's only got an outlet and again a zero, no water in it. Battery shows you the leisure battery, so it shows you a picture of the back end of the van if you like. Press it again, it shows you vehicle battery, so both healthy. Home button, press that, take you back to there. That symbol shows that we're on electric hookup, so we're plugged in right now. Temperature inside, so T in, temperature inside, T out is temperature outside. So 16 degrees inside, 13 degrees outside. And obviously your time on there. To reset the time, date, etc., press and hold the home button. It will go into a sub-menu and you can change the date and change the time on there. Moving across to the Truma panel, it's located on the right of the main panel. The main panel needs to be on first before you can power on the Truma panel. So it needs to have power on. So it is on there just now. To power on the Truma panel, press and hold on there. There we go. So this is the home screen. So what you see up here is that. So for room climate, it calls it. You now probably call it heating. Touch on that. So you've got heating and you've got ventilation. So let's select heating. First option you'll have when you go on heating is you'll have choice of energy, so what you're using. So we're electricity just now, but you could switch it to gas. We've also got the choice of electric 900 watts or 1800 watts. If it's a really old campsite, for example, and the wiring's not as good or old, if you're on 1800 watts and it trips out at the campsite at the posts, go back to the van, put it to 900 watts, reset it at the post in the campsite, and good chance it'll work from there. Let's go just back from there. So we're on heating. You've also got comfort. So this is fan speed, and you've got fast. Fast is really quite noisy, but it would circulate the air quicker. Comfort is probably what you want it at sitting in night time, so it's sort of whisper quiet. Temperature currently inside the van, it's quite a warm day and the sun's been on it, is 22. But if I turn the temperature up just to get it to come on, let's say 24 for example, it will know that I've wanted some heat. That's changed colour to red, and the red symbols or red circles are going outwards to show that it's active, to show it's heating. If I then go back to the home screen, there is now a red bar up there, a green bar up there, and it's got a temperature of 24 to show what we set it at. If I then go to hot water, same thing works for hot water. Do we want to turn hot water on? Yes, we do. So turn it on there. You've got different temperature settings. So for dishes, it says on there, or you can set it for a shower, 60 degrees, or you can set it for a long shower, so heat the water up that little bit hotter, so you're freezing cold, coming in off the cold. Let's bring that back down. So let's take it down to 40. Same for your choice of energy. You get choice of gas or electric, and the same for 900 or 1800 watts. Let's go back from there. You've got boost as well. Same thing, I've set it to 40 degrees so you can see the little symbol is showing that it's active. If I then go back to home screen, you'll see the same thing. It's got a little green bar along the top and it says 40 degrees on it. If you do get any notifications, that would symbol show up there as a warning, and I'll tell you notifications are on it. There's nothing there to report, but if you did have an error message, it would be on there. Back one from there. You can download the app, the iNet app, onto your phone, and you can control quite a lot of the functions via Bluetooth from your phone, which is quite handy. To turn the systems back off to the hot water and the room climate or the heating, touch on that. The little square at the top, right up there, touch there, that switches it off and that disappears on there. To turn off the heating, same thing, turn it off, it's all off, so nothing is showing there. That symbol up there shows that we're on electric hookup. You do have settings down the bottom there, so you can change the time and the date. The other one that's general, just means you can change language, brightness, so change the temperature from centigrade to Fahrenheit, that kind of thing. Back to home panel, main panel. To switch off again, touch on, turn off. You get a choice of standby or turn off. We're not going to be using it again, so let's just turn it off. Let that disappear completely before switching off the main panel. This panel's got Dometic written on it. This is for your fridge. So to switch the fridge on, just press that one there. It will power on. You've got mode, which will change the performance on it. So every time you press mode, will go from performance to quiet. So nighttime is much quieter running. If you just switched it on and you want it on boost, you can put it on boost, and I'll put the temperature down to the lowest setting. If I put it back just on performance, you can also change the temperature. So every time you press that, will change the temperature inside. So a minimum, medium, or max. Switch it back off again. Same thing, just up there. Press and hold it. Lights will go out and it will disappear. So 2-burner hob. A little arrow there to indicate which one's which. So that one is that one there. That one is this one here. Got an igniter there too. So to light it, push down, turn it, press igniter, gas should light. So same with the other one, push it down, turn it, you'll hear the gas coming out, press igniter, and that will light. Turn off. If you are using the hob, make sure it cools down completely before closing the lid, because it's tempered glass and it could shatter. The pump is on, or active I should say, at the moment. So when it's on, it's got the green light on the main panel. We do recommend that you switch it off when not in use, and especially when you're going out of the van. So should you get a leak in the van and the pump is active, it will keep pumping out all that fresh water until it's empty. But taps are all running, or prime motor locks, etc. checked in it, so hot and cold running water. In the toilet, WC, again, it's all running here. Water all running, both hot and cold. I have tested the shower, but I'm not going to do it again because it makes the floor all wet. Light switches here for lighting, but I actually do like the lighting in this van. On the toilet, I did talk about a little blade that we call it. So if I lift this up, you'll be able to see better. So the blade I was talking about was this bit here. So to use the toilet, slide that open. That opens in there. To flush the toilet is that there. So just that, and you'll hear it and also see it. To close the blade when you're finished, just push it back in. And that was the bit I was talking about, outside fuel end resistance. That's what we call the blade. Chances are it's still sitting in the out position. As well as being the flash button, it also gives you an indication how full the cassette is. So if it's half full, that light will go on. If it's full or getting near full, that light will go on. Blinds to use, they're all very similar. Push that together, lift it up. As you release it, it will stay there. But you can also bring down the fly screen. So if the window's open, for example, bring it down, it will clip together. To undo it, just squeeze it and it clips. Same in reverse with that. Just pinch it in, drop it down. Windows have all got a little catch on it, so each of these will push the button in to release it and then open it. On your overhead skylight above the dinette, to open it, the little handle pops down, wind it, so it will wind and it will open. So you can see the opening. To close it again, just something a little to be aware of. So if I do the handle in the opposite direction, if you look in that bit there, you'll see as it comes down, it actually locks across. So a little lock comes across, and you can see a little red line will go in that window. When you see that red line, that's it in position, that's it locked. Let's talk about gas and water. So we're back at the back of the van where the back door is open. So on the right hand side, as you look at it from the back of the van, that is your gas locker. So push it in there. You have hose connected in there. It's open just now. To close it, turn it clockwise. When changing gas bottle, it's a left-hand thread. So if you're changing the bottle, the thread is maybe the opposite to what you're used to. Don't be tempted to put anything in here other than bottles. There's some vent holes in the bottom. The idea is the gas is heavier than air. So should there be a gas leak, it sinks and goes out the bottom of the van. So don't be tempted to put anything else to block these holes. Freshwater tank is located on the left-hand side or the near side of the van. So it's in there. So I've lifted one of the cushions off already so you can see. So let's just pop up and have a look. So in the top of there, that is the cover for it. And it's got some instructions on there anyway. So 2 turns, and it says to close, and it says if you, for driving, to leave 20% in it. So 3/4 of a turn. So let's open that hatch and show you what we mean. So lift that hatch off in there. The bit we're talking about is that bit there. So if you unscrew it all the way out, 2 turns, that releases all the fresh water. So for winter time, to drain it down, that's what you do. For travelling, they say is to undo it 3/4 of a turn and leave 20% in it. I know a lot of people travel with the van virtually full of water. Being inboard, it's not underslung, it's not quite such a weight underneath the van in a bracket, but it is extra weight in the van. Talked about water outside, inside, under the passenger seat, this is the boiler, but also we have a frost protection valve in here. So this here is a frost protection valve, so it should be sitting, the little toggle going across it. If it's cold temperatures, it can sometimes pop, so when it's getting to around about 3 degrees or below, I'll show you what happens, so you know what happens if it does do it. So it would go like that, and you would hear water coming out. Just like you hear there. To close it, put the toggle back across the way, and there's a blue button where my finger is, push that in, that will close it again. If temperature is low, it might keep popping. You need to get the van temperature inside above 8 degrees to reset it. So if you're heading off in wintertime, try to put water in it, get the van nice and warm first, then put water in it. For winter drain down, what we say is to drain the freshwater tank, open that, but we also say to open all the taps as well. Run the pump for a short time, that lets air in behind it to get as much water out as possible for winter drain down. That was a brief guide through just some of the systems on your van. But from us at Highland Camper Vans, we want you to thank you for choosing Highland Camper Vans, and we wish you to have many happy adventures in your new van.